and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here.
Timothy Carey. Here. Nicole King. Here. Candy Cruz. Here. Stephen Maud.
Present.
Mary Jo Reiner. Here. Melissa Torba. Here. Christopher Wea.
Present.
Do you have any visitor comments?
We do. Tim Kearney.
Tim Carney. This will be my last public comment, I think, for the next 4 years. I was working in Valley Forge last board meeting, so I want to take an opportunity to thank outgoing board members and any and all former board members that are here tonight. Mr. Dimmick, Mrs. Gangware, Mr. Lysette, Dr. Serene. You all served our community and I appreciate it. I learned something positive from each of you and I hope it will make me a successful board director. To current board members, I look forward to working with you cooperatively and collaboratively and professionally. To family, especially my daughter, wife, and in-laws, friends and supporters who voted for me, I'm humbled and I thank you for your belief in me. This new role is continuation of a 40-year career working for students in education. My wife of 20 years and my daughter of 17 years have watched me go to many education meetings, and they thought maybe when I retired it would be the end, and instead it's just a new beginning. My father passed away right after the primary. Both my mom and dad stressed the importance of education and were proud of my teaching career. I am where I am partly because of who they were. To other candidates and their supporters, I promise you I will put a tremendous amount of time, thought, and effort into this new role. I hope over time I can earn your confidence. To Southern Lehigh employees, it's against school code for me to substitute in our district as a board member. However, please extend invitations for me to visit and volunteer, and I will do my best to honor any and all requests. I have some experience reading to elementary students. I'm excited about the opportunity to see firsthand some more of the great things happening in our classrooms and schools. Thank you.
No other visitor comments.
Okay. Our first order of business is to elect a temporary president. So I need a motion and nominations.
So moved.
To elect whom?
Dr. Wea.
Dr. Wayok. Second. All in favor? Any
Aye.
comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, take over, Doctor.
All right, thank you. All right, so I guess we'll, our newly elected board members will take the oath of office. Do we have Officer Drexler?
Somebody in the audience can take a picture. Thank you, appreciate it. You can stand there.
So that makes sense.
All right, good evening. Good evening. All right. So raise your right hand and be sworn. All right, I'll say aye and then state your names and then we'll go from there. I
I
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge
and that I will discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
It does not matter to me. It really does not matter to me. I'll stay.
How does that happen?
You're at the head.
Musical chairs.
You get to sit next to
Musical chairs.
All right. I think this a little bit taller than MJ. So I just want to welcome all the new board members, group of 9. Thank you. So I will open the floor to nominations for the office of president. Do I have any nominations for the office of president? Buck? I would like to nominate Miss Cruz.
I'd like to nominate Emily Gaiman.
I'll second.
Is there a motion to close the nominations? Okay, so the motion's been made and seconded to close the nominations.
I'll second the motion to close the nominations.
All right, so board policy number 005 states that the election of an officer requires the winning candidate to receive a majority of all the votes cast by those present and voting. Since there are 9 members present, 5 votes are necessary to win. Everyone present casts a vote. Our policy also states that if no one receives sufficient votes on the first ballot, a runoff vote will be held between the 2 candidates who received the most votes in the first ballot. We will now vote for the candidate by voice vote. As I call the name of the candidates in turn, in the order in their nomination, the board recorder will record the vote. Okay. All right, so I was first. All right. So Christopher Wayock. I think it was
My
voice
mic
vote.
isn't working. Are we doing a roll call?
Emily Gaiman,
No.
Melissa Torba,
Hello? No.
Eric Hoyer,
No.
Christopher Ware,
Yes.
Timothy Carney,
No.
Mary Jo Reinhardt,
Yes.
Candy Cruz,
No.
Stephen Maud,
Yay.
Nicole King.
Yes.
So the vote is 4 in favor, 5 against. So Emily Gaiman.
Christopher Ware,
No.
Candy Cruz,
Yes.
Nicole King,
No.
Eric Hoyer,
Yes.
Mary Jo Reinhardt,
No.
Timothy Carney,
Yes.
Emily Gaiman,
Yes.
Stephen Maud,
Nay.
Melissa Torba,
Yes.
Is that all 5? Yep. So that's 5. So Emily, you're elected president.
Thank you. All right, we will just remain in our seats and continue to have Mel in the hot seat there. Sorry. Till our next meeting. Thank you, everyone, very much. I will now open the floor to nominations for the office of vice president.
Nominate Stephen Mond.
second,
I have a nomination.
Candy Cruz.
Okay, great. I was going to say I have a nomination for Stephen Mon. Any other nominations? I have a nomination for Candy Cruz. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have any other nominations for the office of vice president? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the nominations for vice president?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Second, thank you. All those in favor of closing nominations? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I'll now, I can read our board policy number 5005 states the election of an officer requires the winning candidate to receive a majority of all votes cast by those present and voting. Since there are 9 members present, five votes are necessary to win if everyone present casts a vote. Our policy also states that if no one receives sufficient votes in the first ballot, you know what? I'm not going to waste your time reading that if it's okay with everyone else. We already read through this one time. We can now vote for the candidates by voice vote. I will call the names in order of nominations, starting with Mr. Mon. Can we have a roll call vote, please, Ms. Lovely?
Nicole King? Yes. Timothy Carney?
No.
Melissa Torba?
No.
Stephen Maud?
Yes.
Emily Gaiman?
No.
Christopher Waya?
Yay.
Mary Jo Reinhardt?
Yes.
Candy Cruz?
No.
Eric Boyer?
No.
Tally, I believe, is 4 yay, 5 opposed, so the motion does not carry. I will continue to ask for a roll call vote for the nominee Candy Cruz as vice president.
Stephen Maud?
Yay.
Eric Boyer?
Yes.
Emily Gaiman?
Yes.
Christopher Waya?
Yes.
Timothy Carney?
Yes.
Melissa Torba?
Yes.
Candy Cruz?
Yes.
Mary Jo Reinhardt?
Abstain.
Nicole King? Yes.
Well, with a vote of 4-4, the motion does not carry because Ms. Reinhardt's, I'm sorry, Stephen voted yes. I apologize. So the
So did
vote, the,
Everyone voted yes, except for one person abstained.
I'm sorry. All right. I missed it. Ms. Reinhardt, you abstained?
Yes, I did.
All right. So could we have a tally on that vote, please?
Seven yay, 2 nay.
One nay.
That's why I was confused as well.
8 yay.
This is fine. We have an abstain. Could we just, because of the confusion, could we, but just as a show of hands, show the yay votes for Ms. Cruz to be vice president? Yay? Nay, raise your hands. Abstain, please raise your hands. Okay, so the vote tally is 8 yay, 1 abstention. And Ms. Lovely, would you give, Lobley, sorry, would you give Ms. Reinhardt the paperwork for the abstention following the meeting? Thank you very much. All right. Moving on. Sorry about that. That was my confusion with all the different nominations as well. We have an item on the agenda for depository resolutions. The administration recommends authorization for the board recorder to execute and submit the standard resolutions, signature cards, and any other forms necessary to reflect the change in president, treasurer, and secretary with the district's depositories. Could I please have a motion for that?
So moved.
Thank you. Ms. Cruz?
Second.
Second. Thank you, Mr. Carney. Any comments on that vote? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. I also have item F, facsimile plates. The administration recommends authorization to use facsimile signature plates of the president, treasurer, and secretary when signing school district checks. This request is necessary each year when officers of the board change. Could I have a motion?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. King and Dr. Wayak. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. At this time, we have a few housekeeping items, starting with we have the opportunity for. Sorry, could I see that again? That's not on my copy. Thank you. We have an opportunity for public statements regarding employer responsibilities and related matters. Some employers require the statement to be made annually or upon the swearing in of newly elected board members. Do any board members currently wish to make a statement regarding employer responsibilities and related matters?
Can we reverse it on? I think we skipped over the B section. We were rolling right along there.
Say again.
Section B for for statement, or is that where we're on right now?
Yes, I rolled over that. I rolled right over it because, yes,
Perfect. All right.
I was working off of an old copy of the
Excellent.
agenda.
All right. I just want to state on public record that I'm an official employee of PPL Electric Utilities. If any agreement, contract, or other matter involving the company and the Southern Lehigh School District comes up for consideration, I will abstain from discussion and voting on the matter and request that disclosure of any possible conflict of interest be set forth in the record at that time.
Okay, thank you. That'll be reflected in our minutes as well. Anyone else would like to make a statement at this time regarding employee matters? No, seeing none. All right. Just housekeeping matters. Thank you all for coming out tonight. This is a relatively short meeting and agenda, but we just have a few housekeeping items before we open it back up to any visitor comments. It's my understanding that Ms. Lobley, Executive Assistant to the Superintendent, and our board recorder will be reaching out to board members regarding our availability to provide feedback to the negotiations committee regarding professional staff negotiations starting in January. So you can all look for that to be coming to your new email inboxes to the new board members. In addition, she'll be reaching out regarding your availability for school board professional development. The newly elected board members will need to be onboarded, and I'd also like the full board to come together for professional development to establish board norms and alignment as a school board heading into the new year. So Ms. Lobley will be reaching out for your availability on all of. And just in the upcoming month, between now and our next board meeting, due to the departure of our veteran board members and the addition of 4 new board members, we'll need to address committee organization and appointment. We currently have the negotiations committee, facilities committee, and over the past year or so, the board's discussed the possibility of creating a policy committee as well as an education committee. Now is a good time as any to explore board interest in serving on those, since we'll be filling some vacancies and appointing committees. So I'd like you to consider your interest in those committees as well, potentially. If you have an interest in serving on or continuing to serve in any of these committees, please reach out to me by the end of the business on Friday so we can keep moving as a board in those committee assignments. And in addition, I'd like the board to consider the creation of a technology committee. We have significant technology projects and changes on the horizon. We've had a lot of recent feedback from staff, students, and community on the topic. And I think it could be really beneficial if the community and if the board had a committee focused on that. So consider your interest in the formation of that kind of a committee as well. I will be sending out a board email to members so that you have a list of the openings and the committees, so you don't need to, I know I'm rushing through this right now. We have, I'll just list them. I believe, Ms. Reinhardt, we have an LCTI vacancy because Mr. Mond is one of our current representatives, but the LCTI meeting schedule conflicts and your position is currently open. Is that correct? Or will you both be continuing to serve on LCTI?
Not correct.
No, Mr. Mond, you will. Ms. Reinhardt, just
Okay.
you're serving as,
Yeah.
and you will continue to serve. But it was my understanding we were looking for an LCTI representative in addition to you. Is that correct, Ms. Reinhardt?
I had asked previously to be replaced and nobody stepped up to do it. So I'm still continuing to attend meetings. but I would
Perfect.
appreciate if somebody would step up to replace me. because I
Okay.
cannot attend all of the meetings.
Right. Okay, thank you. So any especially new board members, because I'm currently serving as our CLIU representative. Mr. Mond will continue to serve as the LCTI representative. But if anyone has interest, I'll send that out in our email as well. We do need a board member to fill a vacancy on the ACMC committee. The Advanced Course Management Committee consists of administration, staff, and 1 board member. That committee helps with the approval process for educational coursework for staff. We also have Southern Lehigh appoints 2 representatives to serve on the Southern Lehigh Public Library Board. Both terms of those appointments expire at the end of December. So actually, Dr. Mahan, could your administration please coordinate with the public library to advertise those positions as they've been done in the past? And then those individuals can continue to serve even if we have to delay past the expiration of their term. But we can publicly announce since we'll be needing to appoint again or reappoint those positions. 2 other items. The board has repeatedly discussed its desire to invite 2 student representatives to join us during board meetings and to give us a brief update from a high school student or student activities perspective. We'll obviously need to coordinate and discuss the details with high school and district administration, but can I assume that it's the will of the board to continue to want to pursue that? And if that is the case, I'd like to start that process now and see what student interested is, what the administration thinks, and with the goal of having students join us for our second January meeting as student representatives. And lastly, just our upcoming meetings. Our first January meeting is on the 8th, and it is labeled as a workshop meeting. Our second January meeting as a board is labeled as a general voting meeting. With the upcoming new year, I know the intent of this arrangement for the public has been to focus on presentations and informational discussions in that first workshop meeting and restrict voting in those meetings to emergent issues only. Since adopting the format, I think more often than not, we've been voting on action items during those workshop meetings. So I'd like the board to consider whether or not we'd like to just change the labeling of those to eliminate public confusion so that we would just label all board meetings on our calendar as general board meetings or board meetings. So just so folks know to expect very frequently, we will be voting on voting items. I still think that the format of focusing informational presentations and discussions in one meeting at the beginning of the month is great. All I'm suggesting is that we change the labeling to reflect so the public can understand we will be voting at all those meetings. And I know it's advertised as such. It's not a calendar change or just a labeling change.
I mean, are you going to ask our solicitor to come to every meeting then?
I'm sorry?
Are you going to ask our solicitor to come to every meeting then?
I'm sorry. Is my mic working?
Yes.
Okay, great. Since we do currently vote at meetings where our solicitor is not present at workshop, we can discuss at a board whether or not, and we'll have to obviously discuss whether or not that fits Ms. Moyer's schedule as well. But I think I'm not suggesting a change in the way we conduct business. I'm merely suggesting a change in the way we label it for transparency and clarity with the public. That's all. So that's something we can discuss as a board as we see fit and deem necessary. Like I said, heavily loading the second meeting with the voting items and heavily loading the first meeting with information and discussion and deliberation, I think is great practice. But I just think that I have been confused as a board member. The public's been confused as a board member of what are we voting on and when are we voting? Because some of the things we vote on aren't necessarily, the public doesn't see it as emergent issues. That's my only suggestion. Whether or not the solicitor attends is completely a board decision we can make together. And contingent upon Ms. Moyer's calendar as well. Anything else for the good of the order or any questions or comments on any of that? I'll be sending out an email listing those committee opportunities and open seats. Anything else for the good of the order? All right. Yes, Mr. Carney.
When you send that out, can you make sure, or could you put the time commitment that would be?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Right. Sure. There isn't a set schedule currently, obviously, if we're going to be adding committees. And I'll give a little.
Some of them you might know how often they meet.
Sure. Yeah. Like the ACMC committee has established because of other stuff. Absolutely. And I'll include that. Thanks. Good point. Anything else? All right. Seeing none. Thank you all. Is that working? No? Okay.
Technology committee.
Technology committee, Mr. Boyer? Okay. Thanks. Seeing none. Thank you all for coming out. Really appreciate it. Hope you all have a wonderful holiday season and a very happy new year. We will see you back here in this boardroom on the 8th. Thanks very much. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Post visitor comments.
I'm so sorry. I forgot visitor comment. Are there any visitor comments? No visitor comments at this time? Thank you. Yeah. All right. We are adjourned.
We both lost. Yeah, Karen, we both lost.